Sexual desire is not the enemy you were taught to fear. It is not a dirty impulse hiding in the corners of your mind. It is not a mistake, not a weakness, and certainly not something to be ashamed of. In Jungian psychology, desire is a message, a compass, a voice from the deepest part of your unconscious trying to tell you something long before your rational mind can translate it. And the first uncomfortable truth you must face is this: you don't desire randomly. You don't crave someone because of their looks or their charm or the way they walk into a room. You desire them because they awaken a part of you that you've silenced. They mirror something you've buried. They activate a story inside you that you never dared to read, but always felt. Your sexual desire is not asking for a person. It's asking for a version of you that has been locked away. Most people misunderstand desire. They think it's about physical attraction, chemistry, hormones. They think it's something that happens to them. But Jung says the opposite. Desire is something you create unconsciously. It doesn't come from the outside. It comes from the inside. And here's the part that will challenge you, maybe even disturb you. The person you want the most often represents the part of yourself you've denied the longest. You don't desire them. You desire who you become when you're near them. You desire the confidence they awaken in you, the vulnerability you allow yourself to feel, the freedom, the danger, the surrender. That feeling isn't about them. It's about you. Every time you feel intense sexual desire, your unconscious is trying to expose something you haven't faced, something powerful, something forbidden, something true. Think about the people you've been deeply attracted to, the ones who shook you, confused you, pulled you in without reason. Were they always good for you? No, but they were always meaningful. They echoed an inner hunger. They reflected your shadow, the part of you that wants what you won't admit, the part of you that refuses to live quietly, the part of you that knows exactly what you crave, but is terrified to speak it. Jung called this the shadow self, and said that sexual desire is the shadow's language. When you feel a strong, irrational pull towards someone, your shadow is speaking loudly. It's saying, this person reveals something about you. This desire is a mirror. Look closely. But most people don't look. They react. They chase. They shame themselves. They hide. They call themselves weak, sinful, inappropriate, obsessed. They say things like, I don't know why I want them so much. But the truth is, they do know. The unconscious always knows. Sexual desire is clarity, not confusion. It is precision, not chaos. It points to what you've repressed, not what you randomly find attractive. If you desire someone intensely, it's because your mind is telling you, here, this is where your truth lives. Some people awaken your power. Others awaken your innocence. Some awaken your danger. Others awaken your softness. And a rare few awaken all of it at once. That's why those attractions feel intoxicating, destabilizing, uncontrollable. They make you feel alive and lost at the same time. They break the surface of the personality you've built and expose the deeper self underneath, the one you hide from the world, and sometimes even from yourself. Jung believed that if you want to understand who you truly are, don't read a book. Don't take a personality test. Don't meditate for 40 days. Instead, observe who you desire. Observe the fantasies that return. Observe who you cannot forget. Your sexual desire reveals your psychological truth long before anything else. This is why desire can feel frightening. Because when someone touches a part of you that has been asleep, you feel exposed, seen, vulnerable. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. You feel something rising in you that you cannot control. And humans fear losing control more than anything. That fear doesn't mean the desire is wrong. It means the desire is powerful. It means the desire is honest. It means the desire is waking up a truth you've avoided. Maybe your desire reveals your need for dominance or your longing for surrender. Maybe it reveals a hunger for freedom or closeness or danger or depth. Maybe it reveals a childhood wound you never healed. Maybe it reveals a version of yourself you're afraid to become. Or maybe this is the part you don't want to hear. It reveals the most authentic part of you, the part you've been too conditioned, too controlled, too obedient to express. Sexual desire often exposes the truest version of your identity because it bypasses your ego. It bypasses your filters. It bypasses your fear. It goes straight to your core. That's why it feels so overwhelming, so uncontrollable, so unexplainable. It's the only moment where your unconscious takes over and the world tells you enough to suppress pretending. Religion tells you to fear it. Society tells you to hide it. Family tells you to silence it. But Jung believed something completely different. The more you suppress your desire, the more it controls you. The more you deny it, the more it distorts. The more you shame it, the more it becomes something dangerous. But when you face it, when you understand it, when you own it, it becomes wisdom. It becomes transformation. It becomes liberation. Your sexual desire is not an enemy. It is a guide. The truth is, most people never explore this guide. They don't want to know who they are beneath their conditioning. They prefer to stay safe, predictable, agreeable. But desire doesn't care about safety. Desire cares about truth. That's why it shows up at the wrong time, with the wrong person, in the wrong situation. It appears where it shouldn't. It erupts where you wish it wouldn't. Because your shadow doesn't choose the right moment. It chooses the honest one. Your sexual desire reveals your hidden self because it forces you to confront the parts of you that surface only when your guard is down. The part of you that wants more than you admit. The part of you that hungers for intensity. The part of you that refuses to stay small. And if you're brave enough to understand it, instead of running from it, you'll realize something extraordinary. Your desire is not exposing your flaws. It's exposing your potential. It's showing you the pieces of yourself that are waiting to be integrated, healed, awakened. It's showing you who you could become if you stopped being afraid of your own truth. The mirror isn't showing you the person you want. It's showing you the person you are becoming. Jung believed that desire is evolutionary. It doesn't appear in your life by accident or mistake. It appears as a force pushing you toward growth, integration, and awakening. This is why some desires scare you, why certain fantasies feel too much, why specific people feel like danger wrapped in beauty. Because desire isn't asking for pleasure. It's asking for transformation. It's asking you to step into the part of your identity you've been afraid to unlock. When you feel drawn to someone sexually, something in your unconscious recognizes them as a door to intensity, a door to expression, a door to a forgotten version of you that you have buried under responsibility, expectations, trauma, or fear. That person becomes a symbolic key. You don't want them. You want what they awaken. You want the aliveness they ignite in you. You want the permission they give you to be raw, unfiltered, animal, divine. You want the connection to the version of yourself that emerges only when desire strips away your defenses. Because that version of you is honest. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't pretend. It doesn't apologize for wanting. The self that rises in desire is the self that refuses to be domesticated. And most people fear that self. They fear their own intensity. They fear their hunger. They fear how much power they hold when they allow themselves to feel. So they suppress it. They try to be good, controlled, proper, acceptable. But desire doesn't care about acceptable. Desire cares about truth. And the moment it finds someone who reflects that truth, everything inside you wakes up at once. This is why desire can feel like a threat. Because the moment someone awakens your shadow, your entire identity is challenged. Suddenly, you're not who you thought you were. You're not as innocent as you portrayed. You're not as controlled as you pretend. You're not as detached as you claim. You discover parts of yourself that you didn't know existed, or hoped never would. Jung said that the shadow is not evil. It is simply everything you refuse to acknowledge. And sexual desire is the flashlight that exposes those corners. The fantasies you hide reveal your unmet needs. The people you crave reveal the qualities you've suppressed. The impulses you fear reveal your inner contradictions. And here's the part most people misunderstand. Your sexual fantasies are not about sin. They are about identity. They show you dynamics your soul wants to understand. Power, vulnerability, dominance, surrender, intensity, devotion, danger, exploration. These are not wrong. They are psychological languages. Every fantasy holds a message. Dominance might reflect your desire for control in a life where you feel powerless. Surrender might reflect your longing to finally let go after years of self-protection. Forbidden desire might reflect your hunger for freedom in a life full of rules. The unconscious uses the erotic to express the emotional. When you ignore the erotic, you lose access to half your emotional truth. Most people judge their desire rather than decode it. They ask, "Why do I want this?" with shame instead of curiosity. They lock away the parts of themselves that don't fit the persona they built for approval. But Jung warned that whatever you suppress becomes stronger and darker. Desire isn't meant to be locked away. It's meant to be listened to, not acted out impulsively, but understood, integrated, respected. Because desire becomes dangerous only when it is denied. When you judge it, you lose the chance to learn from it. When you silence it, you silence your own psychological growth. Look back at the moments in your life when you felt the strongest pull toward someone. Not just attraction, awakening. The kind of desire that made your hands shake, your breath change, your mind blur. The kind that felt like truth hitting your chest. Ask yourself, what part of me came alive then? Was it my confidence, my hunger, my vulnerability, my imagination, my darkness, my surrender, my dominance, my authenticity? Something inside you was trying to expand, trying to surface, trying to breathe. That desire didn't show you who they were. It showed you who you are. And here's the deeper truth. The more intense the desire, the more essential the message. If the attraction feels irrational, overwhelming, magnetic, Jung would say it's because the unconscious is screaming. It's trying to pull you into a deeper level of self-understanding. But people fear this intensity. They run from it. They label it toxic, dangerous, forbidden, because they don't trust themselves. But desire isn't asking you to act recklessly. It's asking you to pay attention, to understand the dynamic, to face the truth, to look at the part of yourself that only awakens in the presence of certain people. Some people awaken your fire, others your innocence. Some awaken your rebellion, others your tenderness. Some awaken your wildness, others awaken your longing. Desire is selective because your unconscious is selective. The physical world may show you thousands of attractive faces, but your body only reacts to a few. The mind only opens to a few. The soul only recognizes a few. Those few are not coincidences. They are catalysts. They arrive to teach you something about your inner world. Maybe they reveal your hunger for intimacy. Maybe they reveal your fear of it. Maybe they reveal your need for surrender. Maybe they reveal your fear of losing control. Maybe they reveal how much power you hold when you let yourself want something unapologetically. Most people live their entire lives without ever knowing what they truly want, because they spend more time judging their desire than understanding it. Jung believed that if you want to know your soul, study your desire, not to act on it blindly, but to understand the psychological truth behind it. Who you crave is a symbol. What you crave is a message. The specific dynamics you are drawn to, dominance, vulnerability, danger, softness, intensity, reveal emotional patterns that shape your identity. These patterns don't lie. They are the most honest signals your unconscious sends. This is why desire can feel spiritual, because it has nothing to do with the body alone. It is the body speaking in the place of the soul. It is the body revealing what the mind refuses to say. It is the body expressing truths you have forgotten, rejected, or feared. When someone ignites your desire, they are touching a part of your psyche that has been asleep. They are awakening a dormant part of your identity. And your reaction to that awakening, fear, excitement, resistance, shame, longing, reveals how much of yourself you've disowned. The question is not, why am I attracted to them? The real question is, what part of me do they awaken? And why was that part sleeping? Until you answer that, you will misunderstand your own desire. You will treat it like a problem instead of a guide. You will try to control it instead of learning from it. And you will miss the truth that desire has been trying to show you, that your deepest wants reveal your deepest self. And this leads us into the final revelation. So now you know the truth. Jung tried to tell us all along. Your sexual desire isn't exposing your weakness. It's exposing your identity. It's the part of you that refuses to stay silent. The part of you that wants to be seen, understood, claimed, accepted. And until you stop shaming your desire and start listening to it, you will keep misunderstanding yourself. Because desire is not the problem. It's the doorway. The question is whether you're brave enough to walk through it. If this video spoke to something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, so YouTube knows it mattered. Subscribe if you want more Jungian truths that challenge everything you think you know about yourself. And now, tell me in the comments, what part of you does your desire expose?